This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you all. This is the Baltimore Orioles postcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network, coming to you at 3:05 Eastern Time as we celebrate the Baltimore Orioles taking down the Philadelphia Phillies 5-1. The O's improved to 11 games under 500, and they salvage the series finale against the Fightin' Phils over there at Citizens Bank Park. 2-5 on the road trip for the O's. As always, my name is Luke Slabaugh. I'm the post-game show host here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for filing in here live on YouTube, sticking with us. Last night, camera went out for some odd reason. I have downscaled the video today in an attempt to maybe get through this 15-minute show here live on YouTube, available on demand. For the listening audience, I want to say thank you for sticking with us as always. Baltimore Orioles made it 18 innings in a row without a run. Shutout last night. Last run scored heading into today was a Jordan Westburg home run in the third inning in the first game of this series. And way to break out of it with a 4 spot against left-hander Ranger Suarez and the Philadelphia Phillies.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Team obviously handicapped coming out of the trade deadline, losing some of their starting pieces, Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano, Ryan O'Hearn. The bench depth has been called to slug. To the Orioles' credit, however, through all the losing streaks and the doubleheaders, sweeps, and losing streaks and depression that we've had to fight through here in 2025, never shut out in back-to-back games this season. They've always eked across something. And the subject of tonight's turning point has to go hand in hand with the Orioles doing well in 2 strike counts and pouncing on early off-speed stuff against Ranger Suarez. Gunnar Henderson leads off the top of the 4th, scoreless game. Very pivotal here. 2 strike count, goes opposite field with it. 90-mile-an-hour fastball creeping towards the outside. Gunnar hits it down the third base line. Good piece of hitting to contact for Gunnar to lead off the inning. Adley Rutschman then gets lucky. A cue shot towards the right side of the infield, just past the outstretched glove of Ranger Suarez in no man's land between second and first. You got runners on first and second, a runner in scoring position, something that the Orioles didn't have until the penultimate out last night. And then the subject of tonight's turning point. Who's hitting 5 today? Jeremiah the Prophet Jackson.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Jeremiah Jackson, rookie, 25 years old, just getting his first taste of major league experience, had a few good hits in the Cubs series. First pitch cutter over the plate, 87 miles an hour, 86 rather, ropes it down the left field line. That's some really good bat speed from Jeremiah Jackson. It's a 2-base hit. Gunnar scores, Adley parks it at third base, 1-0 ball game. And then the very next pitch, Coby Mayo, 6'3" frame, big body, just a lot of power there, capable of tanks. Coby Mayo, 6'4", 230, mind you. Up to the plate, hanging changeup, gone. Launched 421 to left field, a big dipper. 109 miles an hour off the bat, 3-run home run, Earl Weaver special, makes it a 4-0 ball game. 4th home run of the season for Coby Mayo. And for all those who've been clamoring, play Mayo every day, this is going to be his chance. Give him some first base reps. Get Ryan Mountcastle in at DH when he is able to return, perhaps for the Athletic series. But Coby Mayo, the overall aggregate numbers are not really doing it. However, in small samples, you can see the potential that this guy has. And still, a lot of potential left ahead of him. So that breaks what is allegedly the longest scoreless streak of the year for the Orioles. That's what Kevin Brown said on the broadcast. And Alex Jackson gets hit by a pitch later in the inning. 24-pitch frame for Ranger Suarez. All that damage coming on 9 pitches, the first 9 of the inning. And Suarez had been good at keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's a strike throwing machine, had one of the lowest average exit velocities in the league. His home run to fly ball ratio is at 7.2%. And if he was qualified, that would tie him with Matthew Boyd, Cubs left-hander, for the 3rd best rate in baseball. His 2nd home run allowed in the past 5 starts. So the Orioles jump out in front. The top of the 7th, we mentioned Alex Jackson hits a double to left field, his 9th hit as an Oriole, and his 9th extra base hit. A little bit of Major League history here. For a guy who's OPSing 940 and hitting just 240, his first 9 hits with a new club go for extra bases. And that's the first time in recorded Major League history that that's happened. You got to go back to 1974 when they were particularly tracking this stat. And he comes around to score. Jackson Holiday hits a single to right field to make it 5-1. Trevor Rogers was awesome. By the way, go ahead, leave a comment in the chat, player of the game. We will reveal that in the second block, and I plan on being on camera for that. Trevor Rogers had base runners in virtually every inning. Got poked around for 8 hits. However, he scattered them. Nerves of steel with runners on base and in scoring position. The Phillies end up going only 1 for 7 with a RISP against Rogers, and they finish the game 0 for 10, despite having people on the base paths clogging up those runways. Trevor Rogers was nails. And in the second block, we're going to talk about another reliever who really stood out today, an Orioles pitcher, and left-hander, mind you. First batter of the game for Rogers, he walks Trey Turner. Stolen base threat, heck of a guy. And then throws a lefty-on-lefty changeup to Kyle Schwarber, who rolls over on it, bounces into a 4-6-3 double play. Bryce Harper would single, go opposite field on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and then leave it to Rogers. Works a really good 3-2 at bat against Nick Castellanos, a free swinging guy, gets him to strike out on a high fastball at 94 miles an hour. It's a 22-pitch frame for Trevor Rogers. However, he works out of the traffic, no runs allowed. Bottom of the second, gets the new Philly Harrison Bader looking on a fastball. Bader doodle, back to the bench. Weston Wilson, he gets to strike out on a fastball. Bottom of the third, mind you, Trey Turner hits a triple. A knuckling line drive to Dylan Carlson, just out of his reach, sneaks past him. Good on Colton Cowser for backing him up, getting behind him there in left center field. One of the fastest guys in the league with 1 out is on third base. Again, gets a 2-strike count on Kyle Schwarber and pulls the string, gets him to whiff on a changeup. And gets Bryce Harper to ground out to Jackson Holiday to end the inning. Nerves of steel. First 4 innings, 1 hit in every inning, and Trevor Rogers strains them all. Little bit of trouble in the bottom of the 5th. Walks Weston Wilson to lead off the inning. And then the backup catcher, Marchand, hits a single to put runners on first and third. Rafael Marchand, 26-year-old switch hitter. So you got a predicament there. Trey Turner then lofts a changeup into center field. Wilson scores. It's a 4-1 ball game. And then Rogers gets Schwarber to strike out on the changeup. Ground outs from Harper and Castellanos to get out of the jam with minimal damage. Rogers ends up going 104 pitches, the most he has thrown since July 9th of last season. A lack of swing and miss stuff. However, he is a pitch maker and should be a staple in this rotation in 2026. Tony Mansolino trusted him to get out of a 6th-inning jam where he gave up 2 singles. However, Rogers did his part. The Phils go 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The ERA remains the same. It holds serve at 1.44. The final line, 6 innings pitched for Trevor Rogers, 8 hits, 1 earned run. That leadoff walk in the 5th to Weston Wilson is the only one that comes around to score. 1 of 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Coming up, we'll reveal our player of the game, and we will dive into a great performance from one of these latest waiver wire pickups. A lefty reliever who is making his mark in limited major league action, someone to keep an eye on. And we'll reveal our player of the game. We'll look ahead to Friday's series starting against the Athletics at Camden Yards. This is the Baltimore Orioles postcast. Finally, time to talk about Gameday Hue. They've been hyperlinked in all our ad copies. We love Gameday Hue. We've got the hats here. Gameday Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. This is the traditional fit, a little bit of a longer bill, black and white here for our viewing audience. And I've got the modern fit here, this black and red, kind of a sharper, more curved bill. These are both really good fits. I love wearing these out on the golf course, out with friends, out running errands so no one can see my face. Can't see this curly Q bordering on my cowlicks here. I haven't had a haircut since Nam, it looks like. And it's not just... New studio here, having trouble. It's not just the hats. They say to show the golf gloves, and I will show you the golf gloves. Premium leather. Nice inspired colorway here with the orange and white. White on the top, orange on the bottom. It is the perfect fit for every Orioles fan. I keep this in plastic wrap just so it stays clean and safe. And the next time I do go out and swing, hit the lanks, I'll do it. Appreciate your patience here on the Baltimore Orioles postcast. That's Gameday Hue. What do they say? Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up on stuff. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com, code MLB15. Show is also brought to you by our friends at Monarch Money. What is Monarch Money? Well, it's your personal CFO, makes managing your money feel easier. It's more than a budgeting app, though it does that. It's a complete financial command center. Track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. And for me, it all comes down to managing those subscriptions. What is it about F45 that charges me at random intervals each month? What is it about those DoorDash expenses that stack up? Or those apps? Haven't Netflix and chilled in a long time. Got to get that off. And Monarch Money will help you take care of your finances. Good, easy to use app. Your spending adds up. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
First time this year, I believe, Coby Mayo does it. He wins our prestigious Locked On Orioles Player of the Game award. One of these days, I'm going to stack up and tally who all made the difference in each of these games, who we gave the award to. And Coby Mayo does great. Hits that Earl Weaver special 3-run bomb there in the fourth, tacks on a single in the sixth. One of his best days wearing the orange and black, and great today. 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and no strikeouts. OPS sitting at 673, and there's going to be some bumps along the way. However, Coby Mayo needs some runway these next 2 months, and he should get it. Team's not competing for the postseason. Ryan Mountcastle should get at-bats and prime up for a 2026 campaign in the bigs himself. However, there's room to spread the love. Ryan O'Hearn isn't around anymore, sadly. What a great story Ryan O'Hearn was. But Coby Mayo can pen his own narrative. Get some reps at first base, maybe rotate in the DH spot as well. Would have given an honorary shout out to Jeremiah Jackson for taking over right field for most of this game as well. He fills in for Tyler O'Neill, who's got right wrist soreness, not just general soreness, but located to the right wrist. It was the home run ball by Kepler last night, I believe in the second inning, where he irritated his wrist on the chain link fence. So unfortunate to see that go down. Jackson fills in, hits an RBI double. Good for the rookie to go 1 for 3 as well. And Vidal Brujan filling in for Jackson, moving to center field. Dylan Carlson shifts to right. Brujan, waiver wire acquisition from the Cubs, hits a chopper single in his Orioles debut. So good for him. Let's talk about Dietrich Enns. Left-hander picked up journeyman, mostly a starter in the minor leagues, had a standout game in extended relief. Gives up a leadoff double in the bottom of the 7th to Trey Turner, and then gets Kyle Schwarber to look silly on a cutter breaking away with 2 strikes. He fans on it, strikeout there, strikes out Bryce Harper on a high fastball. Both of those guys end up going 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. And then Nick Castellanos, 3 pitches, good morning, good afternoon, good night, a fastball high at 95 miles an hour for ends. Bottom of the 8th, gets Otto Kemp to strike out on a changeup, which is good to see between the fastball riding around 95 and the change and off-speed stuff coming in at 84. He had a 10, 11 mile an hour differential there. You're going to have guys looking silly when you pull the string. Edmundo Sosa also strikes out on a fastball riding in at 94 miles an hour. So Dietrich Enns shows that he's got some pep in that step. Just the double given up to Turner and then 5 strikeouts over 2 frames. Frankly, probably could have gone the 9th. However, Keegan Aiken comes in, walks 1, and then has a relatively drama-free 9th inning, a non-save opportunity. The O's carry on, and they look forward to this homestand where they welcome in first the Athletics. No Demonim there, not Sacramento, not Oakland. The A's starts Friday on Masson, 7:05 first pitch. The starter, right-hander Tomoyuki Sagano, 8-5 with a 4.42 ERA. Right-hander Brandon Young and left-hander Cade Povich are scheduled to wrap up the series at Camden Yards. And that'll be that. I want to thank you so much for tuning in here to the Baltimore Orioles postcast here on this Wednesday afternoon, 3:22 here, streamed live to YouTube. My name's Luke Slabaugh. Final score tonight, the Baltimore Orioles 5 and the Philadelphia Phillies 1. Good night. Stay safe. Have a great, excellent Thursday. I will see you back here Friday night. Take care, guys.